Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you are all doing well. I waited a bit because I want to do a combined video. The first part about the words of Thiago Motta in press conference for people that are still not digesting the draw of Torino. Tomorrow we play again, and what a game. Atalanta Juve, that is actually, in terms of chronology, the last game of the first round. We already started the second round playing against Torino, didn't go as we all wanted. There is something that it repeated 5 times. A concept that he really wants to share with the people that are listening. I will tell you and reveal you what it is, and other important things about the absences, but also individual players. He spoke about Koopmeiners, Cambiaso, Bangula, Yildiz, Vlahovic. We will go towards all these words. And then big name, because there is possibly a player that could join Juventus in the next 24-48 hours, is the name of Alberto Costa. Not only that, a big update about 2 players that we were already expecting to be in La Continassa. We are speaking about Araujo and about Kolo Muani, but on these 2 players, Giuntoli needs to be extremely fast. For what reason? Because things are happening in Manchester United, Arsenal, but also in Real Madrid, Barcelona. I give you the update in a second after you, of course, if you want to. Also Monday, to put a maximum of like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because now we start with the press conference of Thiago. What did he say that was that appealing and that he kept repeating? Well, he said the first thing immediately in the intro, speaking about the game of Torino, we are angry because we didn't win. A concept that he actually spoke about 5 times in that press conference. That was the first time. Then he repeated, we are the first to be angry when we don't win. And he said it twice in different moments. He said, we must be angry, speaking about another topic, and then he continues saying we are not happy from where we are in the ranking. So 5 times repeating that concept of we are not happy. Look, the idea that I have about that, of course, is it's a Thiago Motta that before the Supercoppa game against Milan said, I'm not obsessed about that victory, about the tournament. Words that were interpreted in a really bad way, even if it was not really what he wanted to say. The last time he came back on the words, and today 5 times he said we are angry because we didn't win. So he really wants to show that winning spirit in a way, or actually make things good from the words that he said, and he knows that he messed up on these words. So the concept is clear from Thiago Motta. He understood that he did something he didn't say it really well, that it was absolutely not appreciated by the Juventini. Let's see if the players understood it now, if he himself understood it, that it's not okay anymore, these draws. It's not enough. If in post-game you are telling us we only lost twice this season, well, you are not making it really well, and that's something that you really need to pay attention. I give you immediately the update about the injury list. Bremer is not there, Milik is not there, Cabal is not there, we know it. Conceicao will not be there tomorrow neither. I told you it's a January where if you have a micro bobo, a micro injury, well, you are missing already 2, 3, 4 games, because the games will go fast, super fast, one after the other. Conceicao is not recuperating. Dusan Vlahovic will do the test today. When there was a question about Mr. Is Juventus in crisis? He said, we are the first one to be angry when we don't win, something I already told you. Also, during the last game, we played better than the opponent. We created a lot in second half to try to win. Work. 3 times, repeating the word work. We must be angry, but also convinced that what we are doing is the right thing, that we are on the right thing to win. Look, what am I saying? He didn't say, yes, we are in crisis. No, we are not in crisis. He's actually repeating that we are not happy because we didn't win, but also that we played better than the opponent. Look, mister, with all the respect, we played better than the opponent. According to Beppe, I don't care. And I will only care if you bring me the 3 points. If we play better one time and you draw, it can happen. It's the world of football. Sometimes you are even playing better and you lose. But if you're looking at continuity, results, and games one after the other, the most important thing is the result, are the 3 points. So if you're telling me I am not happy that we didn't win, but we played better than the opponent, at a certain moment, it's not satisfying me totally. What about the mistakes? We did some, so he didn't say I did some. The question was targeting about the coach. Did you do some mistakes in these games? He said we did some. And then he said a lot of games that we should have won, well, we didn't win them. So it's important also that he knows that we all made mistakes, because indeed, if we are in that point of the season with all these draws, we did mistakes. What are the mistakes that he did, that we did? I don't know. What about the points in Champions League? As the other time where he's saying that we are not happy about where we are in the ranking. Then he also says, look, it makes no sense to start calculating or to go with a target points to enter the Champions League, which Allegri, for example, always did. He told us we need to do as many points to qualify to Champions League. He said, let's check game by game by game. So that concept of we are angry because we didn't win is, I think, really clear. Now he needs to show it with victories, and we know that the next 3 games in Serie A are extremely difficult. Atalanta, Milan, Napoli, in that order, can be a total disaster, a total collapse of this Juventus that at the moment we Juventini, we don't have that many trust in winning games, because that's not what we are showing. One only win in the 7 last games of Serie A, I believe, is extremely difficult. The other games, one game against Cagliari and Manchester City. Other than that, really, really difficult. So he needs to show it with facts that we want to win. He spoke about players individually. Koopmeiners is the player, but also the person that I was expecting. A person that gives a lot, that helps a lot his teammates, works a lot in training session. He put himself in difficulty to help the team, like saying he's sacrificing himself a lot. Look, on that I want to come back on Locatelli. How many times last season and the season before I said one of the problems of Locatelli was that he was really sacrificing himself. He was thinking about the team first before himself. And the problem was that he was also drained down by this. And the judgment on Locatelli was really, really, really naughty, bad, really, really negative about his individual performance, because he was thinking more about the team. Look, I don't want that is happening also for Koopmeiners, that is thinking only about the team and not giving what he could give. We already spoke about the Koopmeiners in the game against Torino. I told you the worst game of Koopmeiners. What about Cambiaso? Instead, look, he's starting to do better now. He entered really well against Torino. He's focused. It's important for us. He can play on the right. He can play on the left. In a young team like ours, repeating the term, the topic that we are a young team, he already has some experience. He already played some important games. He played them and he has a lot of personality. We are happy to find back the Andrea of the season's start. Look, that's where I go with that injury against Bologna that we saw that he needed to leave the field. He injured himself after 5 minutes. Is that the only cause? Or maybe some games like the Lecce game or the game where he slipped and he gave away that draw are things that entered the mind, the mental of Cambiaso, that more that small injury against Bologna took him a bit away from the starting 11. Big question mark. He spoke really well about Mbangula, satisfied about the growth, and also because he's doing faster than he was expecting. He was not expecting Mbangula at that level this season, but he took a lot of responsibility. And then about Yildiz, repeating how strong he is, that he's a fantastic player with a lot of quality. He can play on the left, can play on the right. On the right side, he did really well, like he did in other positions. But then he's repeating, he's still young, he's growing fast, but he must improve in a lot of things, especially the defensively aggressiveness. I don't know why he's always adding that for Kenan Yildiz. So something that I need to keep in mind, to park a bit, to understand and maybe go in detail in the future. Because it's not the first time that he's saying he must improve, which is totally correct for a kid of 19, but why? I'm asking myself. So it's a press conference where, look, I didn't have the vibe of a 100% reassured team that wants, maybe we want, but we are not sure that we can really destroy Atalanta. We are not sure about it. I didn't find a lot of certainties. Yes, we are angry that we didn't win. Yes, we need to continue because we are working towards the right thing. But let's see. It didn't give me that reassurance that I needed in that moment. Let's see tomorrow. Hopefully we can win, because winning against Atalanta, which honestly a lot of Juventini are not expecting, could possibly change. Let's speak about Mercato. Tutto Sport is going with Motta. C'è Costa per te. Motta, there is Alberto Costa for you. That's on the first page of Tutto Sport. Who is that guy? Well, when during the watch along people were starting to reporting Beppe, Juventus could potentially be on Alberto Costa, I had absolutely no idea who that player was. I'm totally honest with you. I didn't know. So I went a bit in studying. I asked a bit of people that knows about international football. They told me, look, Alberto Costa is the surprise of the start of the season in Portugal. He's a player that is doing extremely well. a lot of teams were on him, like for example even Roma or Sporting Portugal. So a lot of players on the player from Vitória Guimarães. It's a young player born in 2003, modern player that goes up and down all the wing. Physically is a beast, really resistant. It's a player with huge improvement margin. So it's a player that can continue to grow. It's a player that carries the ball a lot more than doing these progressive passes, because if there is at the moment some weaknesses in the player, it's the fact that it's not super accurate and not really great in aerial duels. What is the price? Well, looks like Juventus is really ready to go between the 12 and the 15 million to beat the other teams that are interested on the player, to have him as soon as possible. All good, all well, and I'm super happy to discover these new talents. A player that is sometimes compared to a young Danilo, the Danilo from Porto, the one with a lot of energy, with a lot of power. So I'm super happy. But on the other side, I'm looking at where he's playing on the field, which I didn't mention, and it was conscious. He's a player that is playing on the right side as a right back. Did we really need a right back today? Now, if you tell me, Beppe, we found a center back and he will arrive in the next coming day. It can be Hanchko, it can be Araujo, it can be both of them. Why not? It can be also a left back in addition, and you give me as a second, third name the name of Alberto Costa. I would be extremely happy. Is he really the name that we needed today? I will judge that at the end of the transfer market in January. If you complete the defense, I'm happy with Alberto Costa. If not, well, then he needs to be a real phenomenon. But it looks like we go with a player that is more for the future than for the present. And honestly, I would love to have certainties for the present. And what are these certainties for the present? Probably two names, Araujo and Kolo Muani. If we start with Kolo Muani, well, it's a player that Juventus looks like they really want to go for him as fast as possible, that Paris Saint-Germain is freeing up, also because they are about to sign Kvaratskhelia. It's also public that the team is on the player and the player wants to leave Napoli. But pay attention, because Tottenham is also on Kolo Muani, other teams are on Kolo Muani, and maybe even an Arsenal. You will tell me, Beppe, why Arsenal? Yesterday, Gabriel Jesus injured at the 40th minute. Replaced by Sterling. Arsenal really want to go for a striker. That striker can be Kolo Muani. Why not? I'm just telling you like that between the lines. Why not? Increasing the first offer they did, that they didn't even believe that much in, for Dusan Vlahovic. So pay attention to the name of Arsenal. And then also another name that could possibly disappear from the radar of Juve in January is the name of Zirkzee, because in that same game where Gabriel Jesus is injured, you have Manchester United that at the 81st minute is letting Zirkzee entering. They go to penalty. He scores that winning penalty. Then he's saying hello to who? Is he saying goodbye to the Manchester United fan? Is he saying goodbye to the Arsenal fan? Is he saying, I'm here? I have no idea how to interpret it, but pay attention, because Zirkzee could be the turning point in the start of his beautiful career at Manchester United. So pay attention for the striker movements. What is sure today cannot be sure tomorrow. A certainty today can be totally wrong tomorrow, like for example Araujo, that we were all expecting to arrive in Torino. Well, yesterday at the 28th minute you have Inigo Martinez from Barcelona that is going injured. The player Araujo that didn't play yet in 2025, he enters at the 29th minute and he's doing a top fantastic performance with the Blaugrana. A top fantastic performance. Is it over for Araujo and Kolo Muani? No, Kolo Muani is closer, but Araujo, now pay attention, because Barcelona is asking even more money. With that money, they can go for another center back if they sell Araujo. So on Araujo, the certainties of yesterday are not any more certainties today. We need to pay really attention to that. Another revolution for Juve in this winter mercato. I think this was the plan. Let's see how much Cristiano Giuntoli will be able to complete. At the moment, we are the 13th, and there is nobody at Juve. Let's see who will arrive the 14th. Probably nobody, because it's a match day against Atalanta. Let's see what will happen from the 15th and probably then the second part of January. If you enjoyed the video, put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe. If you arrive to the end of the video, pay attention, put the notification ring on, because later today there will be the vlog of Beppe in Saudi Arabia with the Supercoppa, discovering the country, and more and more and more. So put a maximum of like if you're not yet. Please continue to subscribe. Grazie, forza, Juve. Ciao.